Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. Right across from me is the Batman himself. How you doing, Batman?
It's good to be here, Ash.
Awesome. Thanks again for being on the show. And right off the bat, I just want to ask you, man. What do you think about all the critics? What do you think about all the insanity that is the bashing of this movie getting, of the terrible reviews, and all that other craziness? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, one thing I would say to the critics is, tell me, do you bleed? You will.
I got you. Yeah. The only other question I had for you here was just something outside of the movie and the whole critic bashing and all that other insanity was what about hobbies? Like, do you have any hobbies outside of the crime fighting and everything? Pretty sure you gotta have a little bit of fun for yourself, just in your downtime when you do get some.
Let me tell you, a lot of lonely nights in the Batcave. Yeah, but one thing I've found, giving myself a laugh or two, is impressions. Doing funny little voices. Just having fun.
That's pretty awesome. I do some voices too.
One of the biggest things was working on my other Batman impressions. Okay, here's a few. They got the OG Batman, Adam West. Hello, little chum. We're gonna have to fight some crime, and we're gonna have to do it fire with fire. Oh yeah. Then you got the guy with throat cancer over there. Swear to me, there's where's the trigger? That guy's just fucking ballistic. I have a raspy voice, but nothing that batshit insane, pardon the pun. Then you got that Michael Keaton guy, Beetlejuice. Kind of sounds like this, just the ghost with the most, baby. But then he just goes silent and just goes, I'm Batman. And then you got the dipshit, George Clooney. It's awful. Just pretty much awful.
Hi guys, I'm Batman. Do you buy me as Batman? I am Batman. Batman.
And dipshit Joel Schumacher kind of fucked me up a little bit. That was a tough, dark moment for me.
Now, I guess the final thing I have left, Batman, is again, thank you for being here, and
it's been a blast.
What do you have to say to the audience? Just the person or people watching on the other end of this camera here. What do you got to say to them about what is the main reason to see the movie?
Because I'm Batman.
That's a damn good reason right there. Now on to my review. What is up and welcome. I have no introduction aside from what that just was. Haven't done one of those in a while. I hope you all enjoyed it. But down to the serious business of this whole thing. Batman vs. Superman. I am surrounded by all forms of memorabilia, and I have had a night to digest the feelings that I've had, and most of them are content. They are good ones, and there are some bad things, though, which is what I did not want to come out and say. Right off the bat, I guess the main comparison I can make about this movie is this is the Iron Man 2 of the DC Universe. It is so convoluted with so many different movies happening in one shot that the core movie, which is, of course, Batman vs. Superman, is sadly only about 45 minutes of this 2-hour and 45-minute movie. There is some major spoilers that I do want to talk about soon, hopefully by this coming week. Initial impressions of the negatives first, and that is Jesse Eisenberg right off the bat. I didn't care for his performance overall. He wasn't awful. He wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze awful, but he was mediocre, like Jim Carrey in the Riddler situation. Good moments, but overall kind of like, and that's how I felt. You have him just yucking it up there in the corner, just like, oh my god, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent. I love bringing people together. I've clearly had too much coffee or something. Psychotic Lex Luthor is not a different approach. It's been done before, but this is like the first time it's ever been done where it's such a goofy, weird character. And if for all else fails, I guess Jesse Eisenberg really did try to make it his own, and I give him props for that. But just, yeah, that was the biggest negative of this whole thing for me personally. everything else being convoluted, such as the Doomsday stuff and the whole convoluted mess of that, and a lot of the sci-fi elements that were brought in with the whole Kryptonian stuff. And then I think the biggest thing that should have been more focused about this movie is the whole plot of Superman being a menace or a hero or a god. I mean, there is a lot of interesting questions, and some of them are answered and some of them are not, because it shoves its way for the Doomsday and Lex Luthor stuff, which is unfortunate, because I think that would have been a much better grounded film for this universe, especially since they're going with the dark and gritty stuff. Moving on from the negative stuff right off the bat, pun intended, Ben Affleck, this guy right there, that he proved everybody wrong. He was arguably the best thing, and for me, being a Batman fan, I was just like, can we get back to Ben Affleck now? I give a shit about Superman and Lois Lane crap. I just want to see more Batman. I loved this iteration of him, a very angry, very bitter, dark, angry Batman. Just really, just gritty to the... He brings gritty to a whole other level, because he kills some people. A little bit too dark for my taste, but it still made sense, kind of, especially with the whole phrase that Alfred said, that eventually things turn good men cruel and stuff like that, that whole phrase. He did a great performance as Bruce Wayne, the brooding, dark Bruce Wayne, the happy-go-lucky bachelor Bruce Wayne, and, of course, the Batman himself. Henry Cavill's fine. Since day one, I didn't have a problem with him. I just feel that Man of Steel and this version of Superman is just not Superman to me. It's too dark and too gritty. I don't mind him being violent. I don't mind any of that. I think it just doesn't make sense to me. I've had the same complaints I had in Man of Steel, same complaints I still have here, especially between him and Lois Lane. I could give a shit less about them as characters for the most part, especially in Man of Steel. There was more to like about them, though. I'll give them that credit. There was more to like. Lois Lane actually had shit to do. Her reporting got her into some messes in the film, and that makes sense, because that's what Lois Lane does. She gets into people's business that no one really wants her there. And we also have, not only did Ben Affleck prove us wrong to be arguably the best part of the movie, Gal Gadot, or Gadot, now that's a Wonder Woman right there. That is a really, really, really good casting choice. Now I see it. I'm happy. I felt good things. I'll just say it that way. I'm sorry, ladies. I am so sorry. I just had to acknowledge that visually she was very pleasant to look at, and then she also kicked some serious ass. Aside from all the casting choices and everything, running through all of that, we gotta talk about the throwdown, the actual Batman versus Superman part of this movie, which was only really about a good 10-minute fight, but was it a good one? That alone could be the worth of price of admission for some people. It was an intense, grueling situation. You felt the weight, you felt the punches, you felt them, and you felt the pain that both Superman and Batman kept fighting with each other. It was amazing to see this on the big screen. It truly was. It was one of the true big content feelings I felt, and happiness of just like, this is intense. I don't know what to feel other than holy shit, this is fucking awesome, and it's so freaking crazy intense, but I love it. I just, oh my god. And then we have just more general action scenes. There's some great throwdown scenes with Batman. There is some good action scenes with Superman. Again, as much as I don't really give a shit about Superman, I have to agree there are some legit action scenes that he has as well. That director's cut that's coming out on Blu-ray, I hope not just 30 more minutes adding in, I think they said, but I'm hoping Zack Snyder goes in and rearranges some stuff. I really hope so. Zack Snyder was a great choice for the visual style. He brought this comic book movie to life. Cared enough about Batman and Wonder Woman and the finding out of Justice League members that are going to be coming up in the Justice League movie. There is so much going on, and I definitely want to do a spoiler review very soon if I can. But for now, I just got to leave you all. It's a mixed bag. It really is. But I say still experience it in the theater and judge it for yourself, because you can see all the bashings you want. You can see everybody say this movie is shit. You won't know until you see it. I recommend checking it out. At the very least, a matinee price. That way you don't have to spend too much money. It's not a train wreck. It's not complete utter shit, but I am happy. I am content from what I'm seeing. The good chunk of great stuff that did come out of here, I'm happy. The bad stuff is the bad stuff. It is what it is. and we move on. Overall, that's my thoughts. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a messy review, but don't forget to comment below, like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff in between. So until next time, I'm Anthony Flores with Worth Watch, and keep going to the movies.